You're listening to Just Believe, sponsored by Just Believe Recovery Centers, with your host, Brenda Swift, as she discusses all aspects of addiction, recovery, and sober living. And now, your host of Just Believe, Brenda Swift.
Welcome to Just Believe Radio. I am Brenda, your host, and we are here 900 a.m., the Talk of the Palm Beaches, Monday through Saturday. We have a hotline for anyone looking for help or information about addiction or recovery for themselves or a family member. That number is 877-309-3635. It's 877-309-3635. And I am here back with our guests from Rockers in Recovery, who are putting on a big event this weekend, all free to those that are in recovery and anyone wanting information about it. I would like to welcome back to the show Lori.
Hello.
Lori's one of the co-founders of Rockers in Recovery, which has done just phenomenal work to raise awareness and bring healing through music and concerts. And Lori, tell us a little bit about the event, if you could.
Yes, this is going to be this Saturday. The gates open at 12, and it will run through, when it runs through, either 10 or 11 at night. We have 10 bands, 7 speakers. It is a free event to anyone in recovery, the families of recovery, or anyone supporting the recovery movement. Again, it is free. This is our annual fundraiser, and we are accepting donations, of course, and we have a lot of great things happening. I wanted to touch on one of the things we are going to be doing. We have Michael De Leon from Steered Straight, and he's going to be doing a rockumentary, and then, of course, our lovely speakers. And we have an array of wonderful sponsors who have supported this and made this happen. Without them, this would not happen. And they are going to be there to answer any questions that anybody has in many different areas. Okay, it isn't just treatment. We have the Marchman Act lawyer, Robert Gluck, and we had just really have a real rounded array of people that are supporting us, that you can come out and get information, as well as have a good time and jam and listen to music and fellowship.
Well, it is Valentine's Day, so bring a date.
There you go.
Bring a date, skip the flowers, make a donation, help us out with some of this so that we can keep it moving forward.
Right. And this is Rob Vincent. He's also with Rockers in Recovery, doing a lot of work with the event. You wanted to mention some of the sponsors that have been generous enough to donate to make sure this can be a part of everybody's life down here.
Well, and we couldn't thank all of them enough. Certainly, Laura had mentioned Robert Gluck on the Marchman Act attorney, and of course, Advanced Medical Laboratories, our friend and colleague there, Dave Jones, American Academy for Addiction Professionals. Please feel free to if you're an addiction professional, I think they have lots of things to offer you there. So we would want to be if you're an aspiring counselor or therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, Alava Leads, who's been instrumental in helping us. The Shores Treatment and Recovery.
They are wonderful. I want to touch on them. They have been a big supporter, and just wonderful people. Along with All About Recovery. Just Believe, we want to thank you guys for your support and having us here.
Yay.
Thank you guys for having us.
We have Frank Marino from Just Believe Recovery in the studio helping us out with the show today.
And then Advanced Health and Education of New Jersey, Destination Hope, and they have been instrumental in helping us and supporting us from the very, very beginning. So we want to thank them. The Fellowship Living Foundation is something new, and you guys really need to come and check them out and get information, because it's a community-based help type thing.
Oh, nice.
For the community, where people can go and find out where to go for different types of help. And above all, recovery, they're another big supporter, and we want to thank them. And who else?
Well, let me just chime in here a little bit on one side of it. One of the things that I think is what attracted me to being part of Rockers in Recovery, I'm the non-musician of the bunch, so.
Okay.
But one of the things that's pretty unique that hasn't happened in a lot of things is John and Lori have really been able to bring corporate America into the arena of addiction and recovery in a way that's probably unheard of and not happened before. And that's a pretty special thing, especially if you think about the field of addiction and all of the cycles and all of the difficulties. We're a fellowship, and on more than one ways. There's a number of ways that occurs, and that doesn't often happen. It takes a lot of work to get these kinds of things together, and it really is through sponsorship and the fellowship and all of the people that come together to sort of make this happen, to have this celebration, and I think that's what's unique about this. So I really would, feel free to come out, feel free to help us raise money and do those kinds of things at the annual fundraiser, but more importantly, bring a friend, either a recovery supporter or, if you're new to recovery, come in and who knows, you may find your moment in time. But
absolutely.
We have a couple that actually got together at our event. And they've been together a couple years. And,
how exciting.
Yeah, lots of things can happen.
Yeah, that's
Love
Robin.
can bloom. Oh, there you go.
Lou, you're not supposed to let that out yet.
And you are listening to Just Believe Radio. I am your host, Brenda, here with the group from Rockers in Recovery. And we also have Lou Esposito here, who is a Hall of Famer and has been with the Capris, has been working with this organization for quite a number of years to get the word out through his music, as well as speaking publicly on what the program means to him. Welcome, Rob. I'm sorry, welcome, Lou.
That's okay. Rob's my spouse.
There we go. I got a little confused there.
Elliot's going to be jealous.
No, thank you.
See, we have a good time.
Thank you. It's been an enjoyable, my first time down to RAR was, I guess, 2012. I didn't know what it was really when I was going in, didn't know what I would find. And when I saw the people there that had gone through it, and they were just beautiful. I mean, they'd seen the light, and, I saw this and how positive it was, and I said, oh, my God, I have to come back here next year. I have to be part of this. It was a beautiful experience. I didn't expect that.
I can imagine.
And very inspiring, so I just wanted to be part of it.
And a lot of people don't quite understand what Rockers in Recovery is when they first get onto the page, and what the idea is to bring recovery and music together, and so many of us are connected to music of one form or another, especially in recovery. It's been a very large part of my life. So to have the opportunity, one, to see bands play and hear music you enjoy, clean and sober, remember all of it.
That may be a first for some.
This is true, but it's a painless thing. I remember, myself, I was scared to death to go to my first concert. And to be able to be around people that are using and drinking, and I used to be one of them, this is an entirely different situation where they have an opportunity to be surrounded by the joy and love of recovery, as well as getting the opportunity to have all of this information available for the families and through the Addict's Mom and all of the different organizations that'll be present there to get people help that still need it.
Absolutely, and it's a safe environment, too.
Yes.
For people that want to bring their families and their kids, it's a safe environment where you're not going to have people staggering around or
offering them drugs to your kids.
Drugs or whatever. It's a safe environment.
Okay. And then we also, again, have Frank Marino here with Just Believe Recovery Center, who is a sponsor of the event as well as the sponsor of the show.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting us to come out and be a sponsor. And I just wanted to say that if anybody out there needs help with getting into treatment or halfway or sober living, whatever you need, please don't hesitate to come up to our booth. We'll be there. We'll have a bunch of people there waiting to help. So we'll be out there. It's at CB Smith Park in Pembroke Pines, correct?
Yes, 900 Flamingo Road, Pembroke Pines.
And for anyone looking for information, they can go to Rockers in Recovery on Facebook, as well as Rockers in Recovery. Is it the .org?
.org.
Okay.
.org.
and get all of the information about the different musicians that are going to be playing, as well as the different sponsors that are going to be moving information through there. I have been excited to listen to Lou's second song here. I think we're going to go ahead and take a break first, and then come back, and he's going to share another song with us again. This is Brenda with Just Believe Radio. We will be back right after the break with more from Rockers in Recovery. Be right back.
At Just Believe Recovery Center, their highly trained staff has a combined 50 years in recovery and is certified to help with each client's individual needs. The program at Just Believe Recovery Center brings those suffering from addiction and their families the understanding needed to begin healing from the devastation and begin the path to a new and fulfilling life in recovery. The staff understands what addiction has done to your family and that no one chooses to become sick. At Just Believe Recovery Center, with a therapeutic process and a caring staff that understands addiction, their clients can choose to become well. Go to justbelieveradio.com for more details and call their 24-hour hotline today, 877-309-3635. That's 877-309-3635 for caring guidance and an end to the pain of addiction now. Just believe there is another chance and call 877-309-3635 today.
Welcome back to Just Believe, sponsored by Just Believe Recovery Centers, with your host, Brenda Swift, as she discusses all aspects of addiction, recovery, and sober living. Now, back to your host, Brenda Swift.
Welcome back to Just Believe Radio. I'm your host, Brenda, and I'm excited to be here with our group, Rockers in Recovery, putting on a big event down here on Valentine's Day in Pompano Beach. If you'd like information about the event, go to rockersinrecovery.org. And we also were about to listen to a song that Lou Esposito of the Capris is going to be kind enough to share with us about recovery. And welcome, Lou.
Thank you. I just wanted to put a little disclaimer in here. I'm not responsible for any performance before 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Like musicians usually aren't, yes.
But I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
And,
Is there a little story to go along with this song?
No,
or?
this is a song that everyone knows by Neil Young, but it's very apropos. So, you know, it's...
Especially given the times these days with heroin addiction and prescription drug abuse being what they are today. So,
And, you know, I've lived through it. A lot of people have lived through it, and it's just, I guess it's a right song, you know.
Okay, we're excited.
I caught you knocking at my cellar door. I love you, baby, can I have some more? Ooh, the damage done. I hit the city and I lost my band. I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done. I sing the song because I love the man. I know that some of you don't understand. Milk blood to keep from running out. I've seen the needle and the damage done. A little part of it in everyone. But every junkie's like a setting sun. Thank you. Thank you.
Very touching. Just to reiterate, the Rockers in Recovery Love of Recovery event on Saturday is for those that's going to be an alcohol and drug free as well as gambling free event. And those that are interested in anything to do with recovery and just coming out and having a good time, clean and sober, it's quite a opportunity to get some information about what is being offered in recovery. And there's a lot of things that people don't quite realize. It's not just about treatment. It's about a whole host of things that are being done that gives people at various stages of addiction to be able to get information that can help them.
Right, and it's basically if people need help, getting them into treatment and on the recovery journey, and then there's things to support the people that are already in recovery
We can
through their journey.
Celebrate
And we can just
recovery.
celebrate.
There we go.
We can actually do
That's
that.
right.
What a
And help
concept.
celebrate
yeah.
Rob with his 28 years this month on the 9th. We're going to be doing countdown. Rob and I are going to be doing countdown too.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
saw that. I
exciting.
love the
So
countdown.
make sure and come out for the countdown. If nothing else, we want you to stand and be counted and help be a part of your recovery.
And that's always a very touching moment to watch the people that are actually maintaining recovery and sobriety and are able to join and stand as one and show everybody that this does work. There is hope. There is a solution, and people don't have to die from this disease.
Yeah, you're right, Brenda. You bring up a very touching point about the whole thing. I think sometimes so many people feel very isolated in their addiction.
Very much.
And it's those new pieces, I think you were talking about it a little bit earlier, around where do I stand and how do I get support? And that's the idea. It's about the fellowship in the end, and it's about the celebration. How do we each touch each other's lives, learn from each other, be a part of each other's lives in a way that allows us to go, I think I can do this one more day. I can do this one more day.
And so many of us think that we got ourselves into this mess. We have to get ourselves out of it alone. And I tried that. It was, you do...
To no avail.
Exactly. And you don't have to do it alone. That's the gift of all of it, is that there's so much support and so much opportunity to be able to really share in the joy of recovery. And that's not something we understand when we're stuck in the middle of the addiction.
The truly easier, softer way is just to be a part of the fellowship.
It is. And you are listening to Just Believe Radio. I am your host, Brenda, and I'm here with a wonderful group from Rockers in Recovery who are putting on a huge festival this weekend. We do have also Frank Marino, who is here with Just Believe Recovery, Lou Esposito from the Hall of Fame from the Capris, and you were hearing Rob Vincent with 28 years of recovery, and one of the co-founders, Lori, who's been gracious enough to come in and give us information about this organization. Now, I had also had John Hollis, the other co-founder, on the show a couple of times as well.
John's homesick.
Oh no! Hopefully he's better by the weekend.
He's been run down. We went through and got better. It ran through the family, and then I think just the whole running. Run down thing.
Special.
Plus, he was in the rain when you guys came the other night. It rained. We were in the rain a little bit, and yesterday, around 3 o'clock, he hit the couch and just fell asleep through the night or whatever, and woke up around midnight with a sore throat. So we wanted to keep him away from Lou.
Yes, Lou needs
if
to
Lou
sing.
gets a sore throat and starts losing his voice before Saturday, we're going to be in big trouble.
Can I share an experience I had with John Hollis?
Please.
And Rob was in the car also, and this was firsthand seeing how this really can work. When we were in Aberdeen, Washington, someone took us around for a little mini tour and showed us an area between buildings where people were using heavily on stoops. He said, listen, you're here to see what it's about, not just whatever upside the town has to offer. So we went through this alleyway, and we literally saw people doorstep to doorstep using. So when showtime came, about an hour before the show, a guy came walking out of that alleyway across the street to John and I. Were you there when he came over?
Yeah.
And he said, I know what this is about, and I know I probably can't come in looking the way I look, but I'd like to if I can. And John said, absolutely, front row.
Got you a chair right here.
Yep,
Oh.
and brought him in, and he's one of the people that signed up.
Oh, how wonderful.
And
That's
that
so
was,
hard. Wow.
You know-
I got a little choked up there because that's exactly why you're doing what you're doing. I know a lot of people don't understand that there is a for-profit side of Rockers in Recovery to feed the .org side in order to get people help and support.
Absolutely.
And that was part of why you started it in the first place. Is that right, Lori?
Yes, absolutely. As the profit side gives benefits to people that join our network, and what they get a lot of branding and promoting for their company for the year. And then once they're in, then we have people that we can go to and ask if they want to support us on our journey to other areas.
And you've got
Like
a high
we're looking
demand
at
right
Jersey, we're looking at Ohio, we're looking at
Austin.
Texas, and we're looking at Washington. We're going back there again this year. Okay, so and this is it. This is what we're trying to do, is to be able to take Rockers in Recovery and what we built and to celebrate recovery and bring it to other communities that are in dire need. I mean, this epidemic is, it's worldwide, but it's really affecting a lot of different areas of the states. And when people give us a call and say, we really need you here and this is happening, I want to be there. I want to be able to go there and not turn these people down because, we can't fund it or whatever. So that's what this is all about.
And that's one of the things that actually the Just Believe Radio show was about, finding a way to end the stigma of addiction and being able to get the word out that it affects everyone. Everyone knows someone that's been affected by it, and this gives people a chance to be out around sober people, and nothing is hidden. Everything is supported as far as them getting help, and be able to find a way to really start on that journey that brings them to a place of peace, and be able to not end up in the jails, institutions, and death that we know addiction leads to.
Creates community awareness.
Exactly.
And for that, I would thank everybody who's been involved in this, because
Yes.
think of the America's cities that we went to. Aberdeen, home of Kurt Cobain. You don't have to go far into that conversation to know what happened. Our Phillies stint, all of those other kinds of things. Each of these cities needed help raising the awareness, and in large part that's been what the goal has been, is to help each community come out, raise it in a fun way, raise the awareness to get people to think of, it's not just those drug addicts in the alley. All types, all stripes, everybody's impacted. How do we raise that?
If you had one message, Rob, since it is your anniversary month, 28 years, to the people out there listening, what would you share with them to give them a little bit of hope and to get them to come to the event?
Don't give up before the miracle happens. Come out and join us. Share the love. You will never regret your time in recovery. If I would have thought back 28 years ago about being this date and all that's happened in my life, I would have woefully cut myself short. It's been a good life, and I could never thank the fellowship and all the people that supported me more. So don't give up before the miracle.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we want to thank Rob too, because it does this. He doesn't make a dime being the director and putting up with all us crazy.
Well, I'm sure you gave me a dime somewhere.
No,
That was Lou's dime.
He donates his time to us, and we are so grateful, as well as we are so grateful to all the artists and the bands that are coming out, and we hope to see everybody there.
All right, we are out of time for today. I would like to thank Lori, Rob, Lou, and Frank for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
And everybody come out to the event. We will be broadcasting, Just Believe Radio will be broadcasting live from that event, as well as all kinds of information from Just Believe Recovery and all of the wonderful sponsors that are involved with Rockers in Recovery. You can find them at rockersinrecovery.org, as well as on Facebook. And we also have a hotline, 877-309-3635, for anyone looking for help. And if addiction is stealing your life away, just believe there is another chance.